1. The need of salvation, the effects of sin. A. When man rebels against God, this is called sin. What effect has sin had on God, Satan, and man? I. The effect on God. At 1. Because man has sinned against God, God must punish him. God is righteous. He cannot have in his presence people who rebel against him. If the rebel does not repent, he must go away forever. At 2. On the other hand, God is love. His love for man cannot change. He wants those whom he loves to be with him. So we see that God's righteousness drives man away and his love draws him close. What is the result? At 3. Do not think this was a problem to God. He knew from the beginning what would happen. His plan for bringing man back to himself is the most wonderful plan ever made. Sin did enter the world, but that did not mean that God could no longer be righteous or loving. Nowhere do we see the love and righteousness of God as clearly as at the cross of Christ. 2. The effect on Satan. At 1. Because of man's sin, Satan can now accuse both God and man. Man has opened the way for God's enemy to accuse him of unfairness. All these accusations will be silenced forever through the work of Christ. 3. The effect on man. At 1. The first effect on man was fear of God. At the beginning, Adam and Eve had talked with God every day, but after they had sinned, they tried to hide from God. They were ashamed because their bodies were not covered, and they felt they were no longer fit to be in God's presence. Genesis 3:8. At 2. Because they had sinned, God could not allow them to be near him anymore. So the second effect was that they had to be sent away from God. Men are dead in trespasses and sins, Ephesians 2:1. At 3. When man sinned, he put himself into the power of Satan. Because he is afraid of death, he is a slave, Hebrews 2:15-15. He thought he would be like God and know. Instead of that, his mind was blinded by Satan, 2 Corinthians 4:4. At 4. Because Adam became a sinner, all his children and descendants are born with a sinful nature and are likely to sin. But every man must answer to God for what he does.